Welcome back to Newsday. Thank you for staying with us. A short while ago, we brought you an update on the regrettable deaths of 35 miners at a charity event in Ibadan, southwest Nigeria, following a stampede. Many commentators have called the incident avoidable and another manifestation of Nigeria's poor emergency management practice. But we're now being joined by Arise news analyst Sobowale to discuss what must be done at all times to anticipate the possibility of such tragedies relating to large crowds and how best to deal with such eventualities. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Many thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure of being here.
Of course, we've seen the condemnations that have followed that very unfortunate incident. I'm sure, of course, you also are not pleased with what has happened, but what's the way forward to avoid such a tragedy from recurring anytime soon?
Well, it depends on the organization and the people involved. What is on offer? Because it is a poverty situation. People are in need of so many things. If you have any promise, and there's a prospect of succor in any place, anywhere, they will go there. But then, you see, I think we discussed something like this some time ago in terms of response of the authorities or institutions to the needs of people in emergency. You see, there are some people who cannot see, who cannot hear, who cannot run, and they want to be part of this sort of thing. Such people should be taken into consideration so that you provide access for them to get aid at the emergency, just like all of us who have accesses intact. You see, it's a pity. The police have arrested the organizers, which is what they should do. But then I'm shocked that it's the homicide department handling it. When you talk of homicide, you are talking murder. So it seems they are presumed guilty, get me, before even being tried. But I expect there will be so many detectives there trying to pull. They must find out the organizers and what plans did they have on the ground, and how did they rally people to come. What security did they provide? And what space do they have? Because invariably, you see, this is the season of fully tide. People need things. As I was coming now towards the other barracks, you see, I see a throng of people going towards a certain place. They are going for this sort of thing. But that is in an open space. Maybe the organizers did not anticipate the crowd that showed up. You get me? And then they were overwhelmed. Last Friday here in Lagos, there was this prayer meeting at Sobowale Square. Everywhere was blocked. I've never seen so many young people in my entire life. Get me? Thronging towards a religious event. It is both a poverty issue and a spiritual issue at the same time. But the management has to be up to the occasion. I will not ascribe greed, get me, to the organizers not making adequate preparation, because they too may not, you see, anticipate fully the sort of response they will get. In some instances, maybe they have paltry response, and maybe they made provision for that number of people to come. But obviously what happened is a disaster, because I'm sure they never planned for people to come and die at a charity event. They plan to give them succor and need. They are to be commended, even though this disaster happened. And government should, I think the president has ordered a probe, because you don't just lose so many people just like that. So let government take a part in finding out what happened and in trying to help the families of those who have lost their loved ones in the incident. It is unfortunate.
Mr. Sobowale, I'm quite curious because generally, if you look at a lot of the conversations around, people are saying that the organizers are the ones who should be held responsible for this. Now, what they did is prior to this, because this was in partnership with a radio station, and they put out a call and they wanted 5,000 people to come for this particular event. And eyewitnesses, of course, we're still waiting for confirmed information, but eyewitnesses are saying that that crowd was not even up to 5,000 that they were anticipating. So, you know, you look at it, there's no armbands, there's no access points, there's no sense of control whatsoever from the scenes that we've seen, the visuals that have been shared. So my question is, who should be held responsible? If you're saying, from your perspective, that the organizers, you know, shouldn't be the ones who should be exonerated, rather.
I never said that.
Okay, who should be held responsible? Yeah.
You hold God or death responsible if you can do that. You get me? This thing went horrid. You said even the people are not up to the 5,000, and then this thing happened, and they said it was a stampede. A stampede is something done out of fear. And people, it means people anticipate there is some dangerous thing going to happen. And maybe there's only one gate. It happens at football stadium. People have died in stampede. Get me? People have been crushed, marched over when people are. So that's why it's a tragedy. And that's why it's an emergency. You get me? If it happens, nobody plans for it to happen. But if it happens like it has done now, it is a rescue situation first, to know how many people died, to know who organized, and like I said before, maybe they didn't have enough space, they didn't have enough security. Those are the inadequacies there. But those are not my own priority, because the disaster has happened anyway. That's not, because those who organize it, you are human beings, they didn't organize it for people to go and die. It was an accident. Accident, the best of places, accidents happen. So this has happened. It should not be allowed to, it should not be repeated, if possible. But then obviously, something went wrong with the planning, something went wrong with the management of the event, and maybe something collapsed. A gate collapsed. And that was a rush. Because if you say that, you really don't know the details. Maybe the stampede was where they were struggling to get gifts. You get me? Or what they were promised. Not the Nigerian situation. People don't want to kill because they think the stock of what is on offer will run out of stock. So I look at it from the human angle, not a punitive angle. It was not set up to kill people or to punish people. You get me? But something happened. And if it is negligence on the part of the organizers, let the law take its course. If it is greed on their part, let the law take its course. And we must learn from that. But then, crowd control is what is totally lacking here. Crowd control. Well, it's a stampede. It's a stampede. If you are in it's not easy to manage a stampede. If you did, you have to get out of the way of a stampede. You don't want to go down with it. It is unfortunate, but then at the end of it, people are in want, in need of so many things. So if they hear any whistle that there's something on offer, people rush there. It's unfortunate, but it has happened. It has to be managed in such a way that if those who organized it did not plan well and did not secure the place well, then they face the wrath of the law as a deterrent to other people not to do that. But this is the season when people want free gifts.
Well,
can't blame them for that.
We pray that it will not be the portion of anybody who needs to go and receive in the season, and of course we continue to share our condolences. Yes,
I appreciate the pastor in you.
Sorry, he said thank you, Pastor.
I appreciate the pastor in you. I'm saying amen.
Mr. Sobowale. All right, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you a wonderful weekend, Mr. Sobowale.